Happy Monday. Not a whole lot of good news out there right now, especially on the international level. This Ebola thing is really getting pretty bad. But I have to tell you, I'm very concerned about the fear-mongering going on surrounding the Ebola issue. You know, the poor guy in Texas died the other day. And now there are people who are afraid to even go to Dallas. That's just silly. People that are afraid to go to Texas, that's even sillier. You have to know that we are capable of taking care of Ebola. You have to know that our experts know what they're doing. But as usual, the right-wing radicals have decided that this is another conspiracy. Yeah, it's a conspiracy to make sure that we have fewer people in this country. I've never heard anything so crazy. It's a conspiracy to make sure that we pay attention to our borders and let other things go by the by. I just don't understand where they're coming from. They're making people afraid. That's all they're doing. And it's just not fair. It's not fair to the people who actually are dying of Ebola in Africa. It's not fair to the health community here in this country that knows what they're doing and are doing what they need to do. And you can tell that people are actually paying attention to these fearmongers because there has been less travel to Dallas, less travel to Texas than before this case happened. It's demonstrable. And that's just nuts. I think people have to be semi-rational anyway. You know, yeah, we ought to be screening people who come from Africa, from West Africa, screening people. They ought to be screening people in West Africa before they get on airplanes to go someplace else. But the fact of Ebola is, if somebody isn't demonstrating the symptoms of the disease, they cannot pass the disease on. So unless there's somebody who's sick getting on a plane or gets sick on the way here, there's nothing to worry about. And if somebody does get sick, they know what to do, they being the doctors and the nurses and the country's health officials. But acting like this is yet another democratic conspiracy is just beyond the pale. And people like Rush Limbaugh ought to get their act together. They ought to be semi-rational anyway. I can't believe people believe them, but they are. They're believing them. So take a step back and find out the facts. Don't let this fear-mongering get to you. Thanks.